Hello once again, our most valued student. My name is Confident and I'm looking at this Curro paper. I'm actually doing it for my student. There is a student of mine I'm teaching who is doing grade 10 at Curro. And now this is Krugerstop, okay? So, this was a previous paper here that was written in November 2022. So I'm just revising this. You see, it's a past paper. And now what I want to do here, guys, is to just quickly, as I said, I'm doing this for my student, but for some of you who are in this channel, you're going to benefit, okay? I just want to revise a few things, okay? Let's look at a bit of instructions here, answer all the questions, but now there is the key. Round off your answers to 1 decimal digit when necessary. Be careful there. And I always say you can use or set your calculator so that it can round off at the end, So if I bring in my calculator just to round off, for example, let's say I've got 0,1235 equal to, and I wanted to round off this number. So it's shift, setup, and then there is that fix, which is 6, and then fix it to 1 decimal place. Then you press ST, it becomes 0,1. You can actually use the calculator. And then here it always says show all the calculations. Please don't leave the calculations in the question paper. You need to show all that. And then writing answers will not necessarily be awarded full marks. Okay, they want that. And then I like that they gave also some formulas. So what is this? This is financial maths. This is what interest is this. This is the simple interest, and this is the compound interest. Remember, simple interest and compound interest also links to higher purchase and what? Inflation. Then this is probability. Alright, so look guys, it's not complicated in a way. I'm not going through this paper like in detail. I'm just showing you some hints that you should have done. So I'm just going to be summarizing. Question number 1. Let's just quickly go through this. Say, state whether the following statements are true or false. If false, give the correct answer. Okay, 1 mark. This statement, x plus y squared, it's a false statement, and students are always tempted to say it's x squared plus y squared. This is a false statement. Why? Because x plus y, but there is no space now, squared is equal to, it's twice. Don't forget this. It's x plus y and x plus y. Then you use the FOIL method. You remember that? You use the FOIL method. So it will be x squared plus xy plus yx plus y squared. And the answer will be x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. You see? Alright, now square root of a squared plus b squared is not. This is again a false. This is false. This is false. That is a false statement. Now why? Because square root of a plus b, you remain it like that. Nothing changes. Square root of a plus square root of b squared. Nothing will change. You see, it's in a way, they were trying, students will do this, but if I give you this, square root of a squared times, you see, square root of b squared, then that's a different story. It will be ab, because the square root will neutralize those squares, you see now. But that is a different one. They put a plus there. And then here they are saying 4x minus 2y, 4x plus 2y. Now 4x minus 4x plus the difference of 2 squares. So you multiply the first one and the last one. The center ones will always cancel. So what is 4 times 4? It's 16. What is x times x? It's x squared. And then the last 2, minus 2 times 2, it's minus 4y times y is y squared. So do you see that this statement is what? 16 squared minus 4y squared is true. Alright, then there is this one, D. And then they wanted to confuse you. I think they were supposed to give 2 marks because they are saying choose true or false and correct, Well, it's fine. But this one, 2 over 3 to the power negative is like this. A over B, if you check your laws of exponents, to the power negative m or n is equal to b. You are allowed b over a. You're allowed to do that to the power m. You just interchange, you see, which is equal to, remember, this affects b and it affects a, so it will be b to the power m over a to the power m. So now let's focus on this. Then it was 2 over 3 becomes 3 over 2, correct? And then each one, this is correct, so this is true. Alright, so that was that. Now simplify this. Okay, question 2, guys. We're simplifying. As I say, I'm not really working this out, but you're supposed to be careful here. First, leave out minus 4x and use FOIL method to multiply and multiply. To multiply and multiply. Leave out minus 4. So you'll have your x squared here. Now remember, you are multiplying x squared. Now it will be minus 3x plus 2x. I see minus x there, but you have to work it out. And then 2 times 3 is minus 6. After working out, you will get that x squared, which is minus 3x plus 2x. And then from there, then you can do that. You can do that. Just be careful of the negative signs, okay? So it will be minus 4x times that is minus 4x cubed. Cubed, guys. It's x squared times x. And then minus times minus, it's a plus 4x what now? Squared. Again, minus is plus. I think it's 24. 4 times 6 is 24x. Just be careful there. If I multiply it correctly, b, sorry about that. B, this was how many marks? 2 marks. B is 3 marks, or maybe there is a bit of working here. Come on, this is not difficult. This is not difficult. They gave it 3 marks, but look, this is not difficult. This 3, that is an exponent, is affecting all of them. All of them. All of them. Right. And then, okay, but before that, I think we can do something better. We can forget about that 3 and take these at the bottom, take them to the top. Remember, if you are given 1 over a to the power m, it's a to the power negative m when you take this to the top. So here you will have 3, right, x now squared times x to the power negative 1. See that x at the bottom here, it has gone up. And then y cubed times y to the power negative 1. And then you can have now to the power 3. You can even avoid this and go straight away to say, remember, this is a division sign. And when you divide, what you do? You subtract. You can say 3x 2 minus 1. This x at the bottom, it's power 1 here. Remember, this is power 1 and power 1. So it's 2 minus 1. And then we've got y, which is what? 3, again, minus 1 to the power of 3. See what you do. And then after that, you've got 3x y squared to the power of 3. Then it's up to you how you do this. 3 times 3, so this is 3 cubed. And you know what is 3 cubed? It's 3 times 3. Let me just not write that as 3 cubed. It's 3 times 3, 9. 9 times 3. I think 9 times 3 is 27. So it's 27xy squared. Sorry. It's 27x cubed. Remember the 3. X cubed. And then y is 2 times 3, which is 6. We have to distribute this 3. It multiplies each one of them. So that is that. You know, it's 3 marks, but I don't think it was much requiring a lot there. 5 marks. What was this question? 5 marks. Look at this. I don't know why they made it 5 marks. Anyway, I see now it's addition and it's factorization. And I see what they wanted to do now. Pay attention. I'm just going to work this out for you. Alright, as I said, I'm doing it for my student, but you guys are also going to benefit if you're preparing for your final exams. Check a look at this. They are saying here 9a squared minus 6a plus 1. Alright, you are supposed to factorize this. And I don't know how you guys you were taught factorization, but I usually prefer the product and the sum method. Product means times, sum means plus. So what I do, I take these two numbers, okay, multiply them. Okay, before that, sum, this is what you were taught. Let's not do the product sum. Sum, this is what you were taught. They are going to say, open your brackets here. It works. Let's try it. And then you are looking at these two numbers. You do this. It's still the same in a way. You multiply this number, and when you multiply 9 times 1, you get 9. So in a way, you are looking, you see, it's 9 times 1, right? Which is 9. In my case, I call this the product, you see? And then I'm going to look for the factors of 9. And the factors of 9, or two numbers that I multiply, which is factors, I get 9. It's 9 times 1 and 3 times 3. Are you with me? But now, of those two numbers, I'm interested in the sum. S, sum means plus. When I add them, I must get what? A 6. But not only a 6, a minus 6. And the first two, you see, this one is wrong, but it will be this. So I'll write 3 here. I'll write 3 there, if you're going to use that. But it's a squared, so it's 3a, 3a. Making sense? Now from these, I need to get what? Minus 6. So this is 3, positive, but to get a negative 6 is minus 3, minus 3. So you come here with, say, 3a minus 3, and then 3a minus 3. Will it work? No, this one won't work. You see that part? So now what do I do to get a 6? Now that is where that is where this opening of brackets sometimes I get a bit stuck, because here what it forces me to do is to say, because here I need to get a 1, so I must have a 1 and I must have a 1 in a way, right? So yes, and then minus. Let's maintain this 1 because I need a 1 at the end here. Let's maintain this 1 because it's positive, so it's minus 1. Alright, I'll try to work it out with the product sum, the easier version of this. But let's open this bracket. Now let's do FOIL, multiply, and multiply. We must get back to the first one. So 3a, it's 9a squared. 3 times this minus 3a, that is minus 6a plus 1. So it's correct. Okay. So I don't know how you were taught to factorize, but that is that. But as I said, if it was me, I was going to do this thing of the product sum. So what I do the same thing here. 9 times this becomes my product, which is equal to positive 9. Don't worry with the a, it will always sort itself out. Sum, so this is product. Sum is negative 6. Then factors is what? My factors of 9 is 9 times 1, and we saw it's 3 times 3. And we said this rules out because I need to add these numbers to get minus 6. It was minus 3. So this is what I do to this part now. It will be 9a squared. Instead of minus 6, I write these two numbers. So it's minus 3, but remember it's minus 3a to get minus 6a, and then I say plus 1. So you see, from 3 times I've changed it to 4, which is grouping now. You take the first two and the last two. So what is common in the first two? 9a squared minus 3a, it's 3a. Bracket 3 into 9, it's 3a minus 1. You see? And then from here, I need a minus on this plus 1. So it's minus 1. Take out minus 1. Negative 3a becomes positive 3a. You interchange the sign. Positive 1 become negative 1. Remember, this must be the same. So you've got 3a minus 1 and what? And 3a minus 1. Which was the first one that we got. Okay. So here, guys, that's what they wanted to come and try to see whether you understand. So it will be 3 over 3a minus 1 3a minus 1. I know you'll be tempted to say, can't I write 3a minus 1 squared? No, leave it like that for now. And then plus, look. Remember, I don't want to waste time here. I'm just quickly revising. Look what they wanted to trick you on. You can see that here I'm given at the bottom 1 minus 3a. That is to confuse you because it's the same as 3a minus 1. But now you need to write it like this. Take out a negative, interchange the signs, which is minus 1 plus 3a. So the key there was taking out the negative, which is equal to minus bracket, you start with 3a minus 1. Do you see that? So here, this negative that you took down there, let's maintain it, 6 over minus 3a, see, minus 1. You just do that. But you know a negative and a positive. Negative is powerful. So it's 3, it changes that to that. So you've got 3a minus 1 and what? 3a plus 3a minus 1. So this you're allowed now to use a squared here, because we can see that everything that is 3a minus 1 squared minus 6 over 3a minus 1. You see that? You can use squared. So the common denominator then becomes 3a minus 1 what? Squared. You see this? Because you take the highest power all over. So what do? You are saying, in this case, it mustn't, guys, this is not complicated. You are saying 3a squared, 3 minus 1 that, and that it goes what? Once. Then you multiply. So that once, you write it as 1. You multiply by the top, which is 3. Minus, this one goes here. You cancel the 1 so that one of them remains. And then you say minus, you multiply by 6. Are you getting that? So, but the way you write it, this is how you write it. You say 6, the top, times, put a bracket, 3a minus 1. I hope you're following this. Alright. Then from here, it will be 3 minus, you distribute that. Alright. 6 times 3 is minus 18a. Alright. And then negative 6, negative 1 is plus 6. Then all over your 3a minus 1 squared. Then, which is equal to what? Which is 3 plus 6, which is, what is 3 plus 6? It's 9 minus 18a over 3a minus 1 squared. It's up to you whether you want to factorize that 9. So it will be 9 bracket 1 minus 9 into 18 is 2a. Just to check if it doesn't match the bottom. Sometimes you find that it matches the bottom where you can cancel further. So this becomes your final answer. Do you know that you can test this? You can test, literally test whether you're correct. Testing. You can test. What you do, let's choose any value. I think it will work. Let's choose any value of a that we want. Let's make a equal to 5. Just any value. So where there is a, I'm going to put a 5. So we take a calculator on the final answer. We say it's 9 bracket 1 minus 2 bracket 5. Close it and close, right? Over bracket 3a, we said a is 5. Open and close it, minus 1, close, squared. Let's get this answer. It's minus 81 over 196. It's minus 81 over 196. See, this answer, we come back to the original. Here, we say also our a is equal to 5. We match the answers. If the answers are matching, then it's good. You're correct. So let's look at this. 3 over 9a is what? Is 5 squared. You close. Minus 6a is 5 plus 1, and then plus no, we play forward there to say plus fraction 6 over 1 minus 3 bracket 5. See if we get that. Minus 81 over 196. It's minus 81 over 196. Let's compare the two. Are we getting minus 81 over 196? Yes. It means the simplification is correct. That's how you can literally test. Okay, that was that. This one, D, so we did C. D is also not difficult. I'm just going to show you quickly. You are subtracting this thing here. Not difficult. That's why they made it 3 marks. You split this. That's where they wanted to trick you. You split that using the law a to the power of x. Not x. Yes, x is still fine, but let me use the normal one. M plus n. The first law. It's a to the power m times a to the power n. So which means if I give you 3 to the power of x plus 3, what will you have? It will be 3 to the power of x times 3 to the power of 3. That's what they wanted to do there. So you're going to say here, which is equal to 3 to the power of x times 3 to the power of 3 minus 5 dot, which is times 3 to the power of x over 3 to the power of x. See, then you can see now what is needed there is the factorization. There is 3 to the power of x, there is a minus, and then there is 3 to the power of x. You factorize, you see. And what are you taking out? You are taking out what is common, which is 3 to the power of x. Then from there we have 3 cubed minus 5, because this will cancel and that will cancel and you take it out. Are you seeing that? And then from there it will be over 3 to the power of x. So when you cancel this, so it will be 3 times 3 times 3, I think is 27 minus 5, and then you get your answer. I think it's 22. You see, basically that's what they wanted to check you there on. As I said, I'm going to do it in 2 parts, guys, not same because of the length. I'm just going to do in 2 parts. So for x, 2 marks. It's solving for x. It's simple. Just take out x, and then there, when you take out x, x into bx is b, x into x is minus 1 is equal to b. Then you simply divide by b minus 1. You don't want b minus 1. You don't want this. This is what you don't want. But what you do on the left, you do on the right. B minus 1. Done. Then that becomes x is equal to that. Alright, that was not difficult. Then this one, number 2, is inequality. Now most of you are challenged. Look at this. It's my student was challenged by this, but I hope she got it. Let me work it out in a little bit of just in case, just in case. Now what you do here, the 5 is the problem, so you multiply by 5, but what you do on the left and the right. That's the key part. That 5 is the one that was a problem. So you've got 5 is less than 3 minus 4x, which is less than or equal to 25. You see, it's flat now. The next challenge is this 3. You take it this side, and you also take it that side. So it is 5 minus 3 is what? It's 2 is less than minus 4x, which is less than or equal to 25 minus 3 will be what? 22. Are you seeing that? Then the next challenge is this minus 4. We have to divide by negative 4. But look, you divide by negative 4, you divide by negative 4. There comes the challenge. When you are dividing by a negative, the signs change. So now you have got this sign, and then you've got x, and then you've got that sign, like that. You see the interchanging. So here you've got minus half, if you use a calculator, and here you've got, I think, negative 11 over 2. So you see, that is that sign. But now I think you can write it further like this to say negative 11 over 2 is less than or equal to x. X is less than or equal to negative half. I think it's like this. If you write it better, if you had to draw a number line, this will be that. But this is fine. You can leave it in this format. They need to be fine. Alright. And then the next one, 4 marks. I don't know why they made this question here. Let me erase this. I don't know why they made this 4 marks. I mean, the inequality is 3 marks. This is 4 marks. Okay. Okay, it means you must expand first. Maybe that was the reason. To say it's 2x squared minus 11x. Take 12 to the other side. It will be plus 12 is equal to 0. You see the factorization back now? So they are testing you on factorization. As I told you, is the product issue. Multiply. So what am I multiplying? I'm multiplying the first number and the last number. 2 times 12 is equal to 24. Don't worry about the x. Don't worry about the x. Because I'm just looking for factors. And then the sum, which is sum, the center number is minus 11. So I want to change it from 3 terms. 1, 2, 3 into 4 terms where I can group them. That's what this method is all about. So I've got what? I've got the sum. Now the next thing I'm looking for is the factors. Factors of the product. Meaning factors of 24. 1 times 24, you do them. 2 times numbers that you get 24 when you multiply them to them. 2 times 12. And then the next one is what? 3 times 8. The next one is what? You need to know your times table. Your calculator will help you. You divide 2 into 24. You divide 3 into 24. You go step by step, you see. You start with 1. Next is 2. Next is 3. Until you go to the end. Next is 3. Next is what? Next is 4. 4 times 6. Next is 5. 5 into 24. No. 5 is not a factor of 24. So we can ignore 5. What about 6? Yes. 6 times 4. So when I repeat this, you can see this is the end. Because this is simple repetition. So I can end here. From these, guys, remember when I multiply these numbers, I'm getting a 24. But I want to add them. They must give me 11. One of these must give me 11. This cannot. This cannot. 8 and 3. 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, there is the 11. 8 plus 3 is 11. 6 and 4 will give me a 10. Even if I subtract, I won't get 11. But here, I can get 11, which is 3 plus 8 is equal to 11. But I don't need a positive one. I want a negative. You just put minus, minus. Then it becomes minus 11. So there it is. It becomes 2x squared. So instead of this negative 11 is minus 3x. You see, those two factors, minus 8x plus 12 equal to 0. That's how I usually do it. And then you factorize 2x squared plus 3x. What's common? Nothing in the numbers. It's just x, which is 2x minus 3. You see? So since this is negative and that is negative, so I must take out a negative here. Now 8 and 12, 4 is common, which is 4 into 8, it's 2x. The aim is to get the same bracket, minus 3. There it is. So when you factorize, what is it? 2x minus 3 and x minus 4. But this is equal to what? 0. Remember, we're solving for x. Then you've got now 2x minus 3 equal to 0, or x minus 4 equal to 0. You take this to the other side. What is your x? X is equal to 4. Take this 4, go and test it here. It must give, if you say 4, let me show you. That's how you do your maths. You must always test your answers, because if you don't test your answers, there's a problem. We've got a problem. Why? Because what if you are wrong? What if you are wrong? You need to test your answers. So this is what you do. Since you're saying x is 4, bracket 2 times 4 minus 11. You see this? It must give us minus 12. There it is. Don't be afraid of testing. You do the same thing here, where this goes to the other side. I've got 2x is equal to 3. You divide by 2 on both sides. Then you get your x is what? 3 over 2. Are you getting that? Guys, that's how you solve this. It wasn't difficult. They made it 4 marks, but it was not difficult. There is another 5 marks. I don't know why it's 5 marks. Here they are saying solve for A and B. Oh, simultaneous equations or simultaneous equations. Here we have got A minus 3B is equal to minus 5. And then what we have? 2A plus 3b, you see, is equal to minus 1. I mean, this we call it equation 1, this we call it equation 2. They made it simpler. Why give me 3b and 3b? I just have to use the simplest method. You see, it's minus 3b and plus, I just add this. I'll add, what am I gonna add? Equation 1 plus equation 2, because minus 3b plus 3b already cancels, you see, here. So what will I have? As I said, I'm adding here. So it will be a plus 2a is equal to minus 5 plus minus 1. So a plus 2a is what? 3a is equal to minus 6. Divide by 3, divide by 3. It was the simple one. I don't know why they gave it a lot of marks. A is negative 2. Then what's the next one? You choose any equation to say a minus 3b. We are saying it's minus 5. We know our a minus 2 minus 3b is equal to negative 5. Sorry guys for the background noise. Apologies, but I can't help it now, just to give it to you this video and finish it up. So it's minus 3b is equal to minus 5. Negative 2 become positive 2. So minus 3b is equal to minus 3. You guys know, you divide by negative 3, you divide by negative 3. Then what is b? b is equal to 1. You go and test it here. Where there is a, you put minus 2. You test it in the one that you never used. Where there is b, you put that. If it gives you the answer, then you're correct. Okay, let's take this. I think I'm gonna end here on this number patterns. I'm gonna end here part 1. Question 4. Study the tile pattern below and answer the questions which follow. Pattern 1, 2, 3, 4. How many dots will pattern 4 have? Guys, you just have to work it out. This is term 1. This is term 2, you see, term 3 and term 4. So what we have on term 1, we've got 1, and then we've got 3, and then we've got 3, 4, 5. You see that? So what are we having here? You subtract t2 minus t1, which means 3 minus 1 is 2. You do the same thing here. 5 minus 3 is 2. You see, we're adding every time. What are you adding? You are adding a 2. So what is going to be having here? 5 plus 2, it's what? It's 7. We're going to have 7 here. So how many dots will pattern 4 have? It's simple, 7 dots. That's why it's 1 mark. And then determine the general term. Determine the general term formula to calculate the number of dots in pattern 2. Look, we've got what? 1, 3, 5, 7. Let's take this. I just want to show you this. So 1, 3, 5, and 7. What do we have? This is term 1, this is term 2, this is term 3. We can stop there. You know, what if term 4 was wrong? We can forget about this one, but this is already good enough. You say this was 2, this was what? 2. Now look at this. When you are writing here, the general term for this is Tn is equal to an plus b. Alright, and then here this 2 is equal to a. So you have got Tn is equal to a is what? 2n plus b. And then we go here on the first term, term number 1. We call it a plus b is equal to term number 1. So what are you going to say? You're going to say a plus b is equal to 1. But we know what is our a. A is what? 2 plus b is equal to 1. Take 2 to the other side. What is b? B is 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1. Are you getting that? B is equal to 1. So what is Tn? Tn, you finalize now, is equal to a, which was what? 2n plus b, which was 1. There is the general term. Alright, you can now test it with your T4. Let's put T4 here with the general term. T4 is equal to 2 and then Sorry, here I made an error here. I can see it's not coming out. It will be 2 plus 1. You see, then we've got a problem, which is sorry for here, not 2 4 here, because we say it is n is 4, so it's 8 plus 1, which is 9. Now we have a problem. Now it must give us 7. Do you see the error? The error was made here. You know, that's algebra. We took 2 to the other side, so it was minus 2 plus 1. So what is b? B is equal to negative 1, not 1, because 2 when it goes that side. Are you getting that? So the formula is actually what? Minus 1 here. You see the importance of testing whether you are correct. So even here you put a minus 1. So that's why I test. This is not necessary, but I test to make sure that I didn't make an error. So here it will be what? It will be 8 minus 1, which is 7. Then the formula becomes correct. Are you seeing that? So just do that also in exam to make sure that you don't make these errors. You know, it helps. Alright, so that is that. And by the way, there is another way that sometimes I prefer, but if it confuses you, don't do it. So what it does is you maintain this. You come to T0. You choose to say, what if I went backwards this direction? It will give the answer straight. So you know that this was consistent 2. We want that number there. You start going back. It's 5 minus, when you're going back, you're subtracting. 5 minus 2, you get 3. 3 minus 2, you get 1. 1 minus 2, I get a negative 1. And then the answer is here. This is the answer. Look at it. 2 is this 2. So it's 2n minus 1 is that minus 1. So the answer comes from T0. You can get your answer. Alright. But that was that. I was just giving that. And then the next one is, we are given that determine the value of the 16th term. Guys, this is simple. T16. It's minus 1 over 2. You put 16 here plus 4. You know, use a calculator. 16th. T16. You know, am I right? It's general formula. Determine the value, yes, of the 16th term. So yeah, you do that. T16. And then after that, we come to C here. Say study the row pattern here. Says row 1, 1 squared is 1. 1 plus 3 is 2 squared is row 3. Complete the pattern for row 4. So let's try it. Row 4. It will be what? 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7. Can you do that? Let's see what it does. 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7. That's it. It's 16. It works. Which is 4 squared, which is equal to 16. So this is the answer that you put here. Am I right? So you can see a pattern. Hence determine the sum of the first 52 odd numbers. The sum of the first 52 odd numbers. So here, look at it. You've got already a pattern here, which is, says hence determine the sum of the first 52 odd numbers. Look, we have got 1. This is like T1 is 1 mark. So it mustn't be much. So it's 1, 3, 5, 7. So you see, what you do, you are adding what? A 2. What you do, you are adding a 2. What you do, you are adding a 2. Isn't this the same as this one? It's the same thing. We got the formula here. Remember, it was 1. There is the formula 1. And then it was 3. And then it was 5. And then we said this was 7. Still remember. And then we said what was the general term here. We said here Tn was equal to 2n minus 1. Still remember that. So even here, I think it's the same thing. So where we've got our Tn here is equal to 2n minus 1. And then they are saying, hence determine the sum of the first 52 odd numbers. You know, 50, the sum. Now, what do we do here if we are determining the sum of the first 52 odd numbers? So let me see now. If I was determining the sum, so this was T1, this is T2, this is T3, this is T4. If I wanted to find the sum of these, you see, when I'm adding here, right, we see that I got what? I got 16. So I want to use this formula now to, is it this formula? No, this formula will not give me the sum of the first 52 odd numbers. It is not gonna give me the sum. But let's see the trick here. Let's see the trick. Here I've got T1, I've got T2, I've got T3. It's 1 mark. So we take this, the answers here. I've got 1, I've got 2, see 1, and then 1 squared actually, let's work on that. I've got 2 squared, and then I've got 3 squared. Then it continues, then they say T 52 odd numbers. Are you seeing that? So if it is 1 is 1, 2, so which means it's 52 squared. Because 3 was 3 squared, 2 was 2 squared, like that. So you're supposed to find here, it was not supposed to go to all this. That's why it's 1 mark. So it was just supposed to be 52 squared. Then you find the answer. Alright, so that is that. And then do we have more? Yes, we've got more number patterns. D, we are given that are the first 3 terms of a linear pattern. When they give you that, you also say T1, this is your T2, this is your T3. They show that x is equal to 3. You see, they even give you that. So you have got 3x plus 1 as your T1, and then you've got 2x as your T2. We have got 3x minus 7 as your T3. They were a bit stingy with the maths, but it's fine. You do this, and you do this, and you know that the answer you get here is equal to the answer you get here. Like what? Like what we did previously here. Let me just check if we still have it. Remember here when we had it was 1, 3, 5, 7. Where you do that, you get a 2. You do that, you get a 2. It's a constant difference. So the answer we get here is equal to the answer we get here, which is equal to the answer we get here. So it's the same concept here. You used to say the answer that I'm going to get here is the same answer I'm going to get here. But don't forget, how do we do it? We are saying T2 minus T1. It will give me an answer. And then I'm going to say T3 minus T1. It will give me an answer. So we get an answer here, we get an answer. Then those two answers, we're going to make them equal. Are you with me? So that's what we're going to do. So let's do it. What is T2 minus T1? It is 2x. Now be careful now. When you say minus, put a bracket here and then say 3x plus 1. You see that? That's where they were going to catch you. Which is 2x minus 3x, then minus 1. You see where they're going to catch you. Which is equal to 2x minus 3x is minus 1x, which is minus x minus 1. The second thing, again, you do the same way. What are you going to say? 3x minus 7, but since it's just one term, it's simply going to be minus 2x, which is equal to 3x minus 2x is x minus 7. And then I said, what do? You equate this answer here is equal to this answer. You see that? Why? Because here I got negative x minus 1, and then here I got x minus 7. The two must be equal. So how do you do that? You finalize it like this. Let me use a different one. So you're going to say minus x minus 1 is equal to x minus 7. And then take x to the other side. It will be minus x is equal to minus 7 plus 1. So minus x is minus 2x is equal to negative 6. You divide by negative 2. divide by -2. Then when you do that, x is equal to the negative neutralized, and then 2 into 6 is 3. There we go. You can test it. You put a 3, a 3, a 3, you'll see that the numbers here are constant. It was just too much, so I'm not going to spend much time here. And then it says hence or otherwise. Because it says hence, I cannot erase the answers. Hence means from what you have on top, so you can continue from the top. Okay, otherwise means okay, you can start from fresh if you want. Determine the term in the sequence. Determine which term, so you're looking for Tn, which term in the sequence is the first to have a value less than 31. So here they're saying Tn is less than -31. Are you getting that? That's what they're saying. It's 4 marks. So in a way, this question, guys, they were forcing you to go back there and find the actual terms. So here, let's try to find the actual terms. What is T1? We said x was equal to what? X was equal to 3. So we get the calculator here, which is 3 times 3, which is 9 plus 1, which is 10. This was T1. Right, this was our T1. What about our T2? X is 3, so 2 times 3 is 6. What about our T3? Now it's 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 7, it's 2. So you see what we're having? We've got 10, 6, 2. Let me take it down here. We had T1 as 10. We had T2 as 6. We have T3 as 2. You see that? And I told you, it's up to you how you want to work this out. I can say subtract 6 minus 10. What do we have? 4. 2 minus 6. You see, actually 6 minus 10 is minus 4, not just 4. Be careful. 2, which is smaller, minus 6 is again minus 4. So it's a decreasing pattern. Are you with me? And then we said you can focus on finding Tn. We need to find Tn. I said it's A, N plus B. And then your A is equal to that. So you've got Tn is equal to A minus 4n plus B. And then I told you your A plus B is equal to this. You see? So you can write there A plus B gives me a 10, but what is my A? It's minus 4 plus B is 10. Take minus 4 to the other side, becomes plus. B is equal to 10 plus 4, which is 14. So what is Tn? Tn is equal to minus 4n plus 14. See this? You can test it. Always test it. Let's test it with T3 just to see if our answer is correct. T3 is equal to minus 4, 3 plus 14. Then take a calculator quickly and then check it out. Minus 4, 3 plus 1, 4. There is minus 2. So it works, you see. So I've tested it. It's correct. Always test it. Don't trust yourself. Don't over-trust yourself. Now, can I repeat the second method? I said in the second method, what you can do, you can play back and find here. You can remove this and actually go for T0. You know that this was going to be minus 4. And then here, we can find what was T0 here. We can play back to say 2 minus minus 4, it's 6. You see the calculator, 2 minus minus 4 is 6. 6 minus minus 4. Remember, you are subtracting when you are going this direction. You subtract. So it's 2 minus minus, which is 2 plus 4. 6 minus minus, which is 6 plus 4. Now 10 minus minus, which is 10 plus 4. And then you get 14. Now look at this. So you definitely got the answer there, which is minus 4 plus 14. Are you with me? That is 2 options there that if you want. But now The question was, hence or otherwise determine which term in the sequence is the first to have a value less than 31. We said here Tn must be less than 31. So you write here to say that this minus 4n plus 14 is less than negative 31. We are looking for n. Then take this to the other side, which is minus 4n is equal to negative 31 minus 14. So minus 4n is equal to, I think if I say 1 plus 4 is 5, and then if I say 3 plus this is 4, it's minus 45. Divide by, do I need a calculator just to check? Yes, it's minus 31 and then minus 14. I think it's correct, minus 45. So divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4, cancel there. What is my n? N is equal to, let's find n. So it's negative 45 over negative 4. It's equal to 11,25. It's 11,25. So n. So the question was here, hence or otherwise determine which term in the sequence is the first to have a value less than 31. So you play around here. So you have got 11,25. It's either it's term 11. Let me write it properly. You test it. Test T11. You can test T10, T11 or T12. You take a calculator now and you test it where? You are testing it here. You understand? So let's start with T10 to see which term has a value less than what? Less than 31. They say less than 31. Let's start with T10. So it will be minus 4 times 10, right, plus 14. See, minus 26, that's not that. It must be less than 31. Try 11, less than 30, still not. So let's try 12. There it is, now it's minus 34. So which term? The question was, hence or other determine the term in the sequence is the first to have a value less than 31. So we are going to say here T12. You see, you have tested it. You are going to say T12 is equal to minus 412 plus 14, which is equal to minus 34. You can even do T11. So the answer there, you're going to say is the 12th term. Alright, so that is the answer there that they needed there. Okay, so now this was a different question here. You know, question number 5, let me see, it's 10 marks. Am I tempted to do question 5? Okay, for the sake of, yes, let's do question 5, then I'll end it. Definitely, financial maths. I think it's better to cover financial maths here. Question number 5. Question number 5, it says determine how long you have to invest this money to earn this interest at that. Okay, let's study it. Determine how long you have to invest that to earn that at the interest of that. Per annum simple interest. Remember the formula? Go back to your formulas there. You'll know that simple interest is P1 plus NI. You have it in the formulas. This is the simple interest. So now we need to find out what is A. So determine how long you have to invest. You are starting with P. This is your starting point. That's 9,750. And then it is going to become future. Future is A. It will accumulate. You see, this is your principal. It will accumulate to become what? 20,250. And then your interest rate, you divide by 100, is 9,7 over 100. What is it? 0,097. Don't forget that. Very important. So what do you have? They are looking for, determine how long. So if they are looking for n, n is what we are looking for. So you're going to say here, sometimes I always say to my students, make n the subject here. Make your n the subject already here. So what you do, let's make n the subject. P is what I don't want, so it's A over P is equal to P1 plus Ni. It's better to make my n the subject here before I put the numbers. See, so I cancel there, so it will be A over P is equal to 1 plus Ni. You see, I always prefer this. Take 1 to the other side. It will be A over P minus 1 is Ni. So what do I want now? Divide by I, divide by I. So when I cancel that, I got my n. N is equal to A over P minus 1 divided by I. Now I put the numbers now. Let's put the numbers. A was 20 to 50 over P. What was P? Let's just lower it a little bit. It was 9,750. See, minus 1 all over. Interest is 0,097. Now look how I'm going to do this with the calculator. Be careful. Now my n is equal to, look how I'm going to do this with the calculator. That's why you must be careful. First one is a fraction. This is the bigger fraction where it says over 0,097. Then on top, where you see the cursor is on, I put a fraction, which is my 20,250 over 9,750. See that? I play forward, minus 1, then over 0,097 equal to, say, 11,10. So 11,10. So n is equal to 11,10. But determine what? What was the question? Determine how long is 11,10 what? Years. Remember, n is in years, so it will take 11 years to do that. Are you with me? Are you with me? So let's go to the next one here, which is, yes, question B. 3 years ago, you paid this for a pair of running shoes. Due to inflation, the same pair will now cost you this. Determine the average rate of inflation. Inflation, guys, is compound interest. A is equal to P. Now, compound interest says 1 plus I to the power n. But now with inflation involved, you come here, you put a minus. Inflation is the value, see, like this, because things are going down. So when you do with inflation, is what you start. 3 years ago, you paid what? You see, with inflation now is the opposite. Your A and your P, you just have to be careful with inflation. Okay, so now they're saying 3 years ago, so your n here is equal to 3. All right, and then the rate of inflation, so what they want is our I. So they're saying 3 years ago you paid 2,000 this for a pair of running shoes, you see, and then due to inflation the same pair will now you see, now this is the principal and this is the future. Are you with me? So now we are going to say the future is 2,000. Sorry about this, which is the now, which is 2,885. Are you with me? Okay, no, this one I think I made a here is an error. It's a plus because it's inflation. This is not depreciation. Sorry. Let's maintain our plus. Inflation is plus here, not minus. Sorry, we maintain the plus. Okay, so don't forget, guys, let's maintain our plus because I'm mixing that with depreciation. All right, where things are losing value. But now inflation is a plus, it's compound interest. So this is the future, and then the principal is 2,399. So let's do it. So you've got 2,885. is equal to principal, which is 2399 bracket 1 plus interest rate. Oh, by the way, again, what do I suggest? You are looking for I. Make I the subject first. Don't put numbers here. They will confuse you because you have to write the number after the number after the number. So let's make I the subject. How do you make I the subject of the formula? First of all, you divide by P like what you did previously, which is equal to P 1 plus I to the power n over P. It helps. Cancel out P. Then you've got A over P is equal to 1 plus I to the power of n. It always helps. Make whatever you want to calculate the subject, then you just substitute. How do you get rid of this? This one is easier. You just say square root of n. So even here, square root of n. See? So you have got n square root of A over P is equal to 1 plus I. Then take 1 to the other side. So you've got it now. What is this? It's nth root of A over P, but this one is outside. Minus 1 is equal to I. You see? Now let's substitute. What is n? It was 3. Then you've got that A. You substitute now the actual value of A. I think I have it there. It's 2,885 over 2399, and then it's minus 1 is equal to I. Then you take a calculator and then you simplify this. So it's actually the cube root of 28, okay, fraction first, it's 2885, right, over 2399. Play forward, it's play further forward, minus 1. You see that? Equal to, and then we get this 0,0634. 0,0634 is equal to I. Now it's in decimal form. If you want to make it percentage, now for percentage, I is equal to 0,0634. We multiply by what? By 100. Some they prefer even here already to say this, you multiply by 100, you know, so that what do you have? If you multiply by 100, you will have 6,34. They say 2 decimal places. It's 6,34%. This was the rate of inflation. That's the rate of inflation. So don't forget, it's not depreciation. I don't think you do depreciation here. For grade 10, inflation is compound interest. And higher purchase, don't forget, higher purchase is simple interest. And then the last value here, I think I'll end here. That's the last one for financial maths. 8,000 is deposited. See, when you're depositing into a savings account, which means it will grow in the future. This is an investment. You are investing. It will grow. It will become more than that. The interest rate is 3% compounded. There is 3% which is found. But look at this compound interest. Thereafter, the interest rate changes to 4% per annum, compounded annually. Calculate the value of the investment at the end of the 8th year. Very interesting. So here, let's look at a little bit of a timeline here so that you can see how this thing works. So you are starting here with your 8,000. Right. So this is our what? Our 8,000. Remember, when you are starting, it's more like your A. Your P, your principal. Here, this is our P. That's where we are starting. So you are depositing it. The interest rate is 3% per annual compounded annually. Thereafter, the interest rate changes to 4% per annum compounded annually. Calculate the value of the investment at the end of the 8th year. Let me see this question. It says 8,000 is deposited into a savings account. The interest rate, okay, I got the question now. The interest rate for the what? They are telling you the interest rate for the first 3 years. There is the key. So we come here on our timeline to say somewhere here, remember it's 8 years, so it's 3 years here. So here it's our start, of the investment. So in 3 years to come here, we want to see what will be 8,000 after 3 years, compound interest. So this is what we do. You say A, you see, is equal to P 1 plus I to the power of N. Are you with me? So now let's do everything here. What is my P? We said P is 8,000, right? And then what is my I? You divide 3 over 100, which is 0,03. What is my N? N is 3 years. You see that? So we come here and say A is equal to P, which is 8,000, 1 plus 0,03 times what? Times 3. So we looking at the first 3 years for now. Are you with me? So you mustn't panic here. It's not a difficult question. So you look for the first 3 years. 8,000 bracket 1 plus 0,03. Then you close to the power 3. So it becomes 8741,816. 8741,816. So we come here, it has now become 8741,416, something like that. So this is now the money after 3 years. This money after 3 years will again come here for 8 years. It has got a new interest rate. Now the new interest rate is what? I now is 4%, which is 0,04. You see what has changed? And then what is the number of years here? And now between 3 to 8 years is what? It's 5 years. See the difference now? So you do the same thing here. Let me write this one. It was 8741,416. I hope I wrote the 416 properly. Remember, this is money, you put rent. Now we go back again. A is equal to P 1 plus I to the power of N. Now what is this? Our P now, we are starting with what? 8741,416. That's the trick there. So you're going to say A is equal to 8741,416. Are you with me? And then from there 1 plus I, which is 0,04 to the power of 5. And then we can simplify that to get now what is the other one for the remainder. So it's 8741, I hope it's 416, I hope I didn't make an error there. 1 plus 0,04 to the power of 5. Then it becomes now 10,635, to 1 decimal place. Money is 2 decimal places anyway, 27. 10,635, 27. 10,635, 27. You can't put money in 1 decimal place. Alright. And then some other, they prefer this method to say, here A is equal to, you start with the first one, to say 1 plus, okay, here, they prefer to write it like this, to say you start with 8,000, and then you've got 1 plus 0,03 to the power 3, and then you come back again to say the next one, 1 plus 0,04 to the power of 5. They prefer this method. And then let's check the answer. If we do, give us the same answer there. To say here 8,000 bracket 1 plus 0,03 to the power of 3 multiplied by 1 plus 0,04 to the power of 5. See, there is 10,635 76, 10,635.76, which is 10,635,76. It's the rounding off that I think is different there, but the main number 10,635 is the same. So some prefer doing it like this, but I prefer it working it one step at a time, where you see from here to 3 years, from 3 years to 5 years, you see. But that is that, guys. Okay, so from here we go to question number 6, which I'm not going to do now. Watch in the next session, because probability, Venn diagrams and everything. So we'll do question number 6, which continues to question number 7, functions. And after functions, it continues to functions. These are still functions. It's a lot of functions. Definitely you need to do functions. And then the last one is question number 10. So we'll do 6 to question number 10. So watch, join me again in the next lesson. This is long, but give yourself 24 minutes to watch it so that you can have enough breaks. So don't watch it same time. Watch it, give yourself a break. Watch it, give yourself a break. It will be more beneficial to you if you sit for the whole lesson of 1.5 hours or so. After 24 minutes and you're continuing to watch, you are just a spectator, and I'm here as an actor, and I'm busy acting maths for you. So please break it into 24 minutes lessons. Then if you break it into 24 minutes, watch it for the first 24 minutes, take a break, go out and come back again. Go for the next 24 minutes. Trust me, it will work better for you. Okay, we have come to the end of our lesson. Thank you.